Welcome to the FSL, ladies and gentlemen. We are into the first game. Of course, it's very quick and heavy here because there's a bit of a delay. We were trying to figure out how to get onto the client, but eventually we settled with a clean feed. So we are going to be playing the first game right now. On your blue side, it's going to be COA. On the red side, it's going to be WAF. And once again, guys, I'm your caster, Daryl Hungry Lim, and alongside me is going to be Lim Chu Fan, also known as Spoots. You can follow us on Twitter if you want to, but we should just be diving into the picks and bans to not waste any time here.
Yep, we have actually missed like half the championship.
Yeah, we are like halfway through, right? That being said, Nami already locked in Jarvan and Orianna on the blue side for COA, and on the red, it's gonna be the Ahri, Shen, and Zyra. This is not really what you'd expect in a normal meta game. A lot of comfort picks here, but it's very clear that the strategy is being displayed right now by COA. It's gonna be a very teamfight heavy composition, and for WAF, it does look to be more pick oriented.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If you want to go for comfort, I think that's also something that you can viably play. Drawing a bit of attention to Nami, though, I think we've seen a little bit more of, enchanter supports coming back into the meta. So I think that's something that you might want to keep an eye on in this match.
In fact, Nami was being played, I think, earlier this week by Lehens on Griffin. They played something like, I think, an Ezreal Nami bot lane, so did pretty well. They actually did 2-0 their opponents, so this Nami pick is not too out of standard meta, as it were. Looking at the second rounds of bans, we see the Olaf Varus locked away and not available anymore. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, it's going to be the Caitlyn Kai'Sa. So heavy focus on AD carries, being removed and eliminated from the pool right now.
Yeah, it seems like they're really pinching the pool on both sides. It's going to be very interesting to see what both teams try to settle on for the ADC position.
I'm curious to see. I'm curious whether either team will pick up Ezreal or a champion that has that similar flexibility, because right now I think the pool is pretty small, as you mentioned. They pinched out a lot of stuff, but it seems to be the strategy here for WAF that they're gonna leave the AD carry for the last pick here and instead lock in that Nidalee jungle.
Yeah, I think Ezreal Nami is actually a pretty good lane right now, but of course he's gonna hover the Jinx instead, which I think that's actually still pretty strong actually.
Yeah, if you ask a lot of solo queue players, they say that Jinx is still pretty high on the list in terms of power rankings.
Okay.
The priority for Jinx is still pretty high, and with the Nami you get a lot of early bot lane priority when it comes to shoving and trading as well. Darius insta-lock here. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, that's a little interesting. I mean, like most only champions we haven't seen in the meta for a long time. I don't think we can really analyze Darius too much. He's just gonna sit in the top lane, and I guess he's just gonna do his thing. He's against Shen though.
Well, it could be, yeah. It is against Shen, so that is a tricky matchup to speak of. That said, as long as he hits his Q, he should be fine in the lane. Before we swapped over here, we did see a last lock in Tristana, I believe, for the red side.
Yep.
So it's going to be a Tristana Zyra lane, very strong, long range, and very effective at poking out the opponents. Not to mention, good access to turret plates when it comes to push.
Yeah, I think both bot lanes just really want to farm up, since you're going to pick if you're going to pick hyper carries for late game. I think that's one win condition that you can certainly rely on.
Yeah, and you have a good amount of protection in these fights as well when it comes to the Stand United from Shen. So a good peel potential coming in on the red side. I think the order of business for blue here, COA definitely want to go for a heavy teamfight composition with a focus on getting Darius and Jinx the resets if they can.
I don't actually recall many of the picks and bans because it went by so quickly.
Okay, let me run it down for you. So
sure.
On blue, it's Darius.
Okay.
In the top lane, Jarvan in the jungle, Orianna mid lane, bot lane is Jinx Nami.
Okay.
Yeah. And on the red side, I believe it's Shen top lane, Ahri mid, Tristana Zyra, and jungle Nidalee.
Alright, I think both comps actually just want to jump on you. Obviously, you have the Jarvan, you have the Orianna. That's a bit of synergy over there.
Yeah.
You can just jump in, ball shockwave, and that's a ton of damage onto the enemy team. I think on the other side, yeah, you said I think, but pardon me. I think they do want to go for a bit of team fight. I think if you have the Nidalee, you have a bit more pick potential there.
That's true. Yeah.
So if you blue team decides to venture a little too far into the enemy jungle, I think they can be picked off. So something they have to look out for.
Now I have to double confirm this, but I think we are playing on 9.14, and this is the patch where Ahri's charm has been changed. So you can actually charm people or dashes now, which is pretty good when it comes to dealing with Jarvan ganks, because you can actually charm him out of the EQ, and it actually does remove the animation. So there are a lot of minor mechanical outplays you can look to execute if you are on this Ahri right now.
Yeah, but of course, one thing you're taking note of when you're doing that is, of course, the animation time. It's not actually a very
Yeah.
long animation time, so I think you have to be very mechanically on point if you want to try to pull something like that off.
And Ari's charm does have a cast animation, like you
Yep.
mentioned. So it's one of those things where you could potentially pull off, but really very small room for execution. And if you do, though, you look like a god when it comes to outplaying that one.
Yeah, definitely something that the Jarvan has to take note of when he goes in for a gank. If the Ari has, if the Ari knows he's there,
Yeah.
that could
Potentially
screw
spell
up your
doom, right?
gank.
Yeah. To remind our viewers once more, the format of the tournament is as such. It is a double elimination bracket with a focus on best of ones. So if they lose here, there is still opportunity for the team to fight back and make it to the finals. Of course, today we will be just playing through the sort of qualifiers, as it were, and then tomorrow we'll be looking at the semi-finals and finals, I believe. So the format is pretty forgiving if you drop the first game, but when it comes to the second, it's do or die. If you lose 2 in a row, you're pretty much eliminated, and there are some teams here that look to be the fan favorites, as it were.
Okay, I mean, double elimination. I think you say forgiving. I don't think it's really that forgiving. You don't really have the chance to adapt against the same
Right.
play style the enemy team can play. That being said, I think the thing that we will take note of today is consistency, because in best of ones you really want to show your best performance each time, and if you're able to do that, I think you'll do okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. When you look at the other tournaments that we've been casting, the idea of consistency is just so important, because you could do well the first, but if you drop the second game and then you're suddenly in a disadvantageous position, right? And with best of ones, it's always about this idea of consistency as compared to a series where you have a BO3, you have a BO5, you can adapt a bit more. So this time, we have to see whether the teams can play at that level. A certain bar has to be met if they want to continue in this competition. We are doing the English stream, and on the Vietnamese stream, there is an extremely exciting game. If some of you do speak Vietnamese or just want to follow the action, I believe it is EVOS Valkyrie that will be playing right now, and then after that, the winner of that match will be playing Box Ladies.
Okay.
These two teams I did have my eyes on them coming in, because Box Ladies are the sort of sponsored team coming in from Box Studios, which, if you don't know, is a streaming academy. So they teach you how to stream in Vietnam. If you go to Box Studios and you want to be a potential streamer, you go to Box Studios and you become a streamer, and they teach you the ins and outs and the technicalities of it.
Are we sponsored by them?
We are sponsored by them, actually.
Okay.
So there
Very
you go,
interesting.
yeah. And EVOS Valkyries, of course, this the transitional team from the EVOS brand.
Yep.
It's an all-female team for EVOS, which was created, of course, and owned by Ivan Yo, who is a very own Singaporean.
Ooh.
Owns a team in the VCSA, a Vietnamese EVOS team. So now they do have EVOS Valkyries, who were here last year, or not last year, rather earlier this year.
Oh, alright.
They placed third in the FSL Elite. So between those two teams, there is a good amount of history and fan support coming in. But guys, enough of that, because we are into first game of the day. COA, of course, stands for Combat or AFK, and WAF on the red side. Looking like a pretty standard start here as we look at this arcade-themed fountain.
Yeah, not sure what the observers are doing there, but if you take a look on your minimap, I think both teams are actually just going for the standard start, Bot lane's just going to leash for their Jarvan, and it looks like Nidalee is also going for the red start.
Yeah, you have to forgive us, of course, we are streaming on a clean feed. We don't really have access to the Vietnam servers just because of IP and regional blocking issues. And part of it is the idea of Vietnam not being under greener anymore just gives us that added level of difficulty when it comes to coordinating Southeast Asian tournaments.
Yep, but as long as we get like a feed to cast, I think everyone is really happy here.
Yeah, dude, that's like all we need, right? A mic, feed, and some water, and we're good to go.
Yep, lots of water. Good water.
Looking at this start, it's pretty interesting to see that the red side here starts, Nidalee starting on the red side does opt for the red buff instead of the leash on blue. So have to figure out if she wants to path bot lane or just do a full clear on the top side.
Yep, it seems we aren't actually getting any game sounds though, so that's peculiar.
I would love if the scoreboard came up as well, so we can see the starting items.
Useful, yeah. Maybe we can, if we scream loud enough, Vietnam will hear it.
I used to main Nidalee in the jungle, and I can tell you the ins and outs of this champion. So the way you want to jungle Nidalee is you want to sort of leash the buff around with your range form and then use the execution on your Q. Hold on here. A bit of a buffering coming in because we're on the clean feed from YouTube. But Nidalee jungle is one of those junglers that if you come into lane to hit a gank, you definitely have to hit your Q or your W. Otherwise, you just back off. It's all those few bad moments because your laner's like, oh yes, I get a gank, and you miss everything, and they just peace out.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't hit your QW, you don't get the extra range. You can't jump on them. So
Yeah.
like you said, it's pretty feels bad moment there. I don't think if you're playing Italy, you really have to hit your accuracy on the mark.
Yeah, that is one of those things that is not as reliable as, say, the Jarvan, who
Yep.
only has to connect EQ, right? So, in that sense, I think you rather have the Jarvan on your side if you are a laner as opposed to Nilly, but it does have its perks, Nilly being a very aggressive 1v1 support also has that benefit.
Yeah, I mean,
Or 1v1 jungle, rather.
yeah, but look, if you actually do hit your spear, I think Nidalee does bring to the table more damage and therefore more pressure. But again, we just have to see, how Nidalee plays.
Okay, looks like we have everything in order. First game of the day is always a bit tricky when it comes to the technical issues, but I think everything should be there now. Traits going on the top side, the Darius getting the better damage done. Remember that it is a Conqueror Darius, so the longer these traits go, the more beneficial it's going to be for the player in the top lane. Getting the good heal down.
The scoreboard is in a line though, which is literally unplayable.
Oh man.
Alright, whatever. Just gonna stop flaming.
Chufan's getting tilted.
Gonna stop flaming them, and we're just gonna do this.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, we see Jarvan going in for a bit of an invade. I'm not sure if Nidalee actually showed herself, but she's not gonna have Crux in her jungle anymore for much longer.
It's good to know that this Jarvan was privy to Nilly starting on the top side, so you kind of have an educated guess, right? If Nilly starts rich, he's going to end on the bottom side, so definitely one or two of her camps on the top side would have respawned or at least be open for you to take.
Yep, and Darius did push out so that he could take those Crux pretty safely. Shoved under his towers. Either you go and deal with the Jarvan if you see him, and you miss a wave, or you catch that wave but you lose the Crux for your jungler.
And that was a massive wave as well. It's getting shoved in pretty handily, so now bot side, traits coming in, landing the snare or zap, not connecting though. Great use of the plants to block the damage coming in.
Yeah, it seems like everyone on the map right now is just taking, brief traits. No one really wants to go in. As I say that.
Oh, you jinxed it, man. Going in for damage. The crippling strike coming in and the apprehend as well. This should be enough if he flashes through for the damage. The spin, not enough. Oh, the shield, the jukes. Jesus, we cut to a pause, but that was a massive outplay. The damage coming in from the grasp of the Undying, I believe, healed him up, and then the shield as well was just enough to keep the Shen topped up.
Yep, as we run into some technical difficulties, I think it's just, unfortunate for the Darius, you see the Shen, he's so low.
That outplay was so nasty, they had to censor it and switch to the template screen.
Alright.
Oh boy.
I mean, I wish we had something to cast right now, but let's just talk about a bit more about play. I think Darius was just caught a little off guard.
Yeah.
You could jump in, the Shen has like less than 100 health left, suddenly he has a shield and the turret kills you. That's...
You could see that the unfamiliarity was there as well for the Darius play, because it was almost a certain level of hesitance around flashing in and getting the kill, and spacing for the Q as well. Didn't get the heal range, in fact only hit the Shen with the handle, and the way the skill works, which is thematically and very nice flavor.
Okay.
You have to hit them with the blade to get the heal. You hit them with the handle, it's no good. You get reduced damage. So in that case, didn't get the blade down and wasn't enough damage to finish off the kill.
Yep. I think if you're playing that Darius, you're slightly tilted maybe. Just have to watch out in case they try to pull something off like that. But I think if we look at that matchup again, Shen right now with the heals, I think. Wait. Is this live?
Yeah, I think this is live, yeah.
Oh, he's going in again then.
Oh boy, here we go. Level 6 now though. Remember that this is a Darius with ultimate, but he's getting kited by the minions. That is not good at all. Yeah, the minion block was a bit unfortunate there. Could have gone for the ult in, but decided not to because it's getting shoved away from the wave.
Yeah, but obviously with the bleed effect on the Darius, you don't really want to go in for extended trades with, if you're Shen, but we do see a bit of skirmish in the jungler.
10 CS up is this meanwhile mid lane getting shoved in. Overall, just a small CS lead for the Ahri.
I'm actually very interested to see how this Darius will
right. Oh man, he missed the Q again, but the apprehend brings him into range. Crippling strike is just gonna keep, rather apply another stack of bleed. Remember that Darius needs 5 stacks for the ultimate to truly come into effect. Otherwise, it's just a reduced amount of damage. Spamming Qs is not the best idea here, buddy.
We did say that, you know, they picked comfort, but correct me if I'm wrong, but this Darius doesn't look particularly comfortable in this lane.
Yeah, it does seem to be a counter pick of sorts, like a forced counter pick, if you will. Alright, in for the shadow dash, the taunt onto the Darius, but again coming in from the Nilly. Remember, she has to connect the spear for the damage to come through. But just as I say that, she leaps in and executes him with the Q, and that's going to be a third kill going over to WAF. They've been doing pretty well so far. A kill on the board for Nilly, Shen, as well as the Tristana.
Yep, it's not the case of, you know, if you don't ward your river bush, you know, you're susceptible to ganks. I think we really have to call this person COA's warding here. It's pretty defensive. You take a look at the minimap. Meanwhile, on WAF, you can see that we get the entirety of the bottom lane, bottom side jungle warded up.
Yeah, the whole river is just lit up.
Yep, so COA definitely losing the warding game here.
And it's gonna hurt a bit more as this Ahri is starting to roam down. It does have the ultimate available, ready to pounce onto the Zyra if she, or not Zyra rather, the bot laner if she wants to. They cleared the vision out, and the Zyra has ensured that the Ahri will get in without any hindrance, but no, she's gonna back off and go back to the mid lane.
Yeah, take a look at the wave. It's actually pushing towards COA, so I'm not actually sure what the Ahri was trying to do hiding in them.
Yeah, it comes back to fundamentals, you know, understanding how the wave is pushing and knowing what are the good times to roam. When it comes to this sort of thing, you must have the basics mastered, otherwise you will not be getting far. Buff being taken here, and this is the second rotation of buff, so Nilly has cleared her own red buff and then her own blue buff, and now she's looking to do a full clear on the bottom side. Meanwhile, Bubble being thrown out is going to catch the Zyra, but I don't think they can trade this one out. Both junglers looking like they want to hit to the bot side.
Yeah, the bot lane really just wants to farm. I don't think if you try to pull and engage both ADCs, you'll be like, hey, let's not take that fight yet. Let me get my items, you know.
In the grand scheme of things, the Tristana is the lead though, because she has a BF sword to the pickaxe of the Jinx. So when it comes to auto attack for auto attack, the Tristana will be doing more damage. Not to mention her ult and her E scales with, hold on here, a lot of damage. Here comes the Stranglethorn to knock him up. The flash being used by the Jinx to get out very preemptively, and that buys some space for Nilly to do the dragon.
Yep, definitely. You see WAF pushing out that bot lane with that a bit of an engage, allows Nilly to take the dragon unhindered, at least until Jarvan tries to show.
Yeah, the flag is so powerful they're revealing the attempt at the dragon. Meanwhile, top lane trades between the bruises, not really hitting the mark on the Q, but the Shadow Dash might just be enough to apprehend to pull the Shen back. 5 stacks is the magic number, and the Q being flashed away. Oh, he might just finish him off, and there you go. The Conqueror being procced as well. And that is how you want to play out this top lane, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, this time he does it. He has enough health. He goes in, he flashes, but he doesn't manage to hit under the tower. Of course, if you're in the long lane, like top lane, and you're this Shen, if you try to go in, you don't really have much of an escape, sorry.
Yeah. At the end of it, you can see almost no hesitation. Flashing in for the ultimate was enough to finish off the Shen, and that's the Darius now finally with some payback.
Take a look at both junglers though, they're really paying attention to this bot lane. You can tell they're either prioritizing these kills or the Cloud Drake. And I'm pretty sure I know which one it is.
It looks like the Drake is constantly being checked by the Jarvan. He's afraid of the sneaky attempt by the Nilly, considering that WF have so much mid lane priority.
It's pinged out though.
Pinged out, the Charmer's gonna land, it's gonna connect, and there you go. That is an instant kill. A solo kill in fact. Oh, Shockwave being dashed away from. A bit of a preemptive attempt by the Orianna, but nevertheless WF will claim another kill.
Questionable what COA are trying to do here. I think we have to call in question more than their warding. Obviously, you didn't see the Ahri pathing down. You didn't, call it out if you're the Orianna. And I think some of your decision making here is a bit, slow.
Right.
As are some of the reflexes. I think Ahri didn't miss the shockwave there.
Yeah, that was a bit of an unfortunate play coming in, and once again, this calls into question the idea of warding, right? You see the river, there is a control ward in that brush. That is Ahri's favorite brush to sit in. The moment she has her items, that is a point where she's just gonna try and hit a charm and then all in you under that brush. So you have to be very careful when it comes to rotating around the mid lane.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you did lose one kill and you lost a Drake. So I think if you're COA, you've given up a lot of pressure. If you really want to stop this bleeding and try to find your way back into the game.
Yeah, looking like they want to find their way back in on the top side. Cataclysm has been expanded on a solo Shen, not really finding anything though. Lily kiting around with the auto attacks, trying to land the spear for them to pounce, but looks like the spear is just going to be used to dissuade any further shenanigans on the top side.
Yeah, take a look at the jungle items. Jarvan hasn't even completed his.
Oof.
So I think it was pretty smart of them to disengage. Obviously, the Shen and Lidley are stronger both individually and together as compared to Jarvan and Darius.
That being said, though, if the Darius plays out the gank perfectly, you hit Q on 2 members, you land 5 stacks of bleed onto each of them, there is potential for them to win that 2v2, right? But it's all very dependent on whether the Darius can hit skill shots like that, which are constantly being dodged away from.
I think you can rely on Darius to hit his skill shots maybe later in the game and get more comfortable. Right now, I think that was a good call and just backing off from that.
Nearly showing on the top side doesn't deter the bot lane duo from trying to get turret plates, and we kind of called this one out. Hold on, Charm here onto the Orianna. Flash Shockwave completely whiffs. The pocket stopwatch buys a bit more space as they look to back off. Meanwhile, there's 3-on-3 here. The Charm being hit once more, and a lot of damage down onto the Darius. They might be looking to execute her, but the heal might just be enough, flashing away to Nilly. The Darius still alive, still being kited out, but the pounce is enough. The back and forth, ladies and gentlemen, but WAF finally find the execution that they want.
This feels bad if you're COA though. You're missing so many crucial skill shots. I think we have to give credit over to the Ahri. Obviously a very crucial dash away, if not he would have been caught out. So I think COA has to, wait out the crucial dashes before they try to go for any sort of high impact engage.
Yeah, hitting 2 very crucial charms as well allowed them to secure that kill right there. And when you're playing a pick composition like this, where you want to hit the skill shots, you want to hit the charm, the root, the spears as well, to find the execution, it's very crucial that you do manage to hit the skill shot right there.
But yeah, let's take a step back here. I think COA is really letting this game run away from them. Even though you have the Jinx in the bot lane, I think if you're this team on the blue side, you want to chill out. You want to give your Jinx as much farm as possible. Let her catch every wave on the map. Once she hits her items, play a bit of a protect the Jinx comp, let the hyper carry do all the work.
Yeah, Jinx is their insurance policy right now, and COA has to be careful if they want to cash that one in. If they fall too far behind, I don't think the Jinx will be able to do anything in the late game. That being said, opposition does have a Tristana, so you have to be careful of how they position in these fights as well, because Tristana has no slouch when it comes to the late game fights.
Yep, take a look now though. Jarvan is positioning at the bot side, and Nami I think is going to be clear that ward. Look at the item discrepancy. Jinx has an IE, well, now Tristana does as well, but Tristana isn't in the lane. If she was in the lane, I think Jarvan could have gone for a bit of a gap.
You could have definitely forced that one right there in the bot side, but as the action stands, you can see this mid lane Ahri is playing so aggressively, constantly fishing for charms with the blue buff, knowing that she has the mana required to push and pressure the Orianna out.
Can I drop a couple of question mark pings though? Jinx just whiffed her Super Mega Death Rocket on literally nothing.
Must have been a misclick. We didn't see anything there. I don't know what you're talking about. There was no ultimate.
We saw nothing. Nothing happened. All right, great.
It's like that. Avatar: The Last Airbender, where like the Lake Lao guy meme, where like there is no Lake Lao guy. And have you never watched Avatar?
I have not.
Oh, okay. We know what we're doing this weekend then.
Okie dokie.
It's on Netflix, by the way, so you should check that one out.
Hashtag not sponsored. Anyway. Jarvan is spotted out here, so he knows where he is.
Yeah.
And immediately you can take a look at, Shen is halving down to the Rift Herald, gonna clear out some wards. Maybe try to take it since the enemy jungler is not on their side of it.
Oh, Charm finally hitting after multiple attempts. Meanwhile, bot lane tidal wave being used to force the engagement. Here comes the Jarvan, preemptive flash from Zara. The Cataclysm is only gonna catch the Tristana, but the Jarvan getting blasted away by the Bastard Shot means that the bot lane is gonna stay safe. Only 2 summer spells expended for that play, and they will find the Rift Herald on the top side after so much being committed on the bot lane of WAF.
Yep, a bit of an overzealous engage. I think you expended so much pressure when the enemy bot lane was already playing a bit safe. Now you lose the Rift Herald to WAF. I don't think that's worth.
Yeah, they will be able to claim the dragon in response.
It's a cloud though, and it's only one.
Yeah, and that only equalizes out the dragon count, right? So this is a bit of a important grasping roots here is gonna land. So with the Stranglethorns being Flash being used rather by Jinx to get out of that one, and a bit of a poor position coming in from the AD carrier of COA. Will be forced to expend the summer spell.
Definitely preventable. You know your support isn't there, you should just back off. Now you burn a crucial flash on an ADC who wants to play safe.
Yeah, and with so many people looking for these picks, the flash is going to be crucial when it comes to the late game. Or Charm being landed once more. A lot of damage now. Execute might just be enough here as the spear connects to the back of the neck. Orianna is going to fall instantly.
And this Ari has been hitting charm after charm after charm. I think we really have to give a lot of credit to this guy's mechanical skill. I think these charms have been on point this entire game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you're playing Ari, the most important thing to hit is the charm because it allows you so much space to find plays like that, you know. And when it comes to securing priority in the mid lane, the opponents have to be fearful of the opportunity of getting caught out.
Right, now as WAF tries to reset, I think we called into question their warding, you know, the ward discrepancy earlier. It's gotten even worse now. Take a look at the minimap. The entire jungle is populated by WAF wards. If COA tried to go do anything there, they're gonna get spotted out. And
there's almost like a line of vision that you can't cross, right? The moment you walk past, WAF are just like, oh, we'll fight here. We don't care. We'll just jump on you. And looking at the inventory as well, there are multiple control wards that have been picked up, multiple sweepers as well on members of WAF. So they understand the crucial need for vision as a double bubble is going to land on the bottom side. Super Mega Dev Rocket is not really going to do too much damage considering they're still pretty high on health. You know, top lane, the trades coming through from the bruisers once more. Apprehend is going to bring the Shen back in. But I think the Shen fancies this trade here. A lot of damage down though, flashing away from the Q. Remember that the Jarvan, or not Jarvan rather, the Darius still has the ult, but will have to flash away from the spear coming in. It's the threat of the Nilly on the top side. Meanwhile, bot lane, Tidal Wave being used to engage once more, flash in from the Jarvan being used, Cataclysm jumping in, they're looking for execute on the Zyra, but it's them United will keep her safe. The dash in is going to catch two members, and the Zyra will get out alive. They're trading back across, jumping forward with the rocket jump. The Tristana looking for the execute for the reset, she will get it. Will she look to jump for it once more? She will, and she will get the triple, will back off, and will get out safe in the bot side.
That's Sten United. What is this TP?
Oh man,
what is this TP?
This is the sunk cost fallacy. Don't go for it. You're gonna get kited out. The taunt coming in. The Apprehend brings the Tristana back in. The Buster shot to kite out, and they will get the kill. After everyone falls, the Darius jumps in and feeds another one over.
That guy's trolling.
This is when you spam question mark things. This is like, what is going on, you know?
He's actually trolling. What was that? Look, what? You lost a bunch of kills. You lose another one because you TP in. You lose that TP and then you lose that tower. Literally, what?
And then they spawn the referral on the bot side. You're just like question mark pings all day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not over exaggerating when we say that that was a highly suspicious int play coming in from Darius.
Let's hope he doesn't do that again. Competitive ruling, anyone? Okay. I want to give credit to that Shen. I think his Stan United was absolutely crucial. He jumps in, puts down that aura where you can't damage, you can take damage from auto attacks. Literally saved his life and the sport's life. So very good play there.
And they juggled the aggro so well. They knew that okay, if we can keep the Zyra alive, she takes the most of the damage. We can still swap around and dish the damage out in response. So great coordination from WAF coming in this time, as the goal lead climbs to a very dominant 7,000 in favor of the red team.
Honestly, I think this game is over, really.
Ooh, here we go. Here we go.
From what COA has shown us so far, I don't think they have a chance to really claw their way back in, unless they somehow really step up their game within the next 5 minutes.
I'll call it right now. They need a perfect wombo combo, right? So it has to be like Jarvan EQ, 3 members, into a Cataclysm, into like a Shockwave, into a Tidal Wave, into a bunch of executes on Jinx. Maybe that's how they win this fight. Like everything has to land like picture perfect, find all the proper targets. That's how they win this game.
Okay, and how much percentage would you give that for happening?
Slightly under 5%, maybe. Yeah.
Alright, so we'll give them like a
it's
slightly
not impossible, it's just really, really difficult. And speaking of which, the Jarvan's gonna get jumped on and the jungle Stranglethorn is being used to launch the Nami up, but the damage coming in is good. The Ari finds the kill right there. So many skill shots sailing by and enough for them to finally find the execution.
Yeah, you can see WAF, they really know, skill shots they have to hit, and they hit it every time. I think this is exactly how you want to play if you're picking a pick comp, which they did. So they're really finding success, and now they're about 8k gold.
Looking for the damage down, but minion wave will be evaporated underneath it. Meanwhile, Charm sailing by in the mid lane. This Ari fishing once more. Stan United is available right now for the Shin if they want to make a cross-map play, so they will have to pay attention to that. The turret is going to fall on the bottom side. Zyra stepping forward to look for the Stranglethorns, I believe.
Yep, Jarvan was on the flank there. I think he was looking for a bit of a engage, but I think he knew that if he jumped in, he's just going to get blasted out of existence. So
at this point, it's kind of tricky because I don't think there's enough damage in COA to burn through a single target. Nope. Before the Shin comes in with the same damage, right?
Yep.
You have to kill the target, otherwise the Shin is going to arrive. It's going to turn the tides of the fight. And this is where the global problem begins.
Yeah, I think again, you just have to default back to your insurance policy.
Speaking of which, this might be a good fight though. They find a Cataclysm onto 2 members, but they both flash out. So they burn 2 very expensive Sovereign spells for face checking that brush there. Considering that there was a Zyra there, they could have just put the plant down, but instead being a bit greedy. You know, shoving the wave up in the mid lane, trying to get some chip damage down.
I think that would have been a good trade if you just, spent both of, Nidalee's and Zyra's flashes. But here's the thing, for some reason, Orianna flashed. So I don't know what happened there, but that's not exactly
I think she flashed before that. It could have been an attempt on a pick in the mid lane. We didn't really get the play-by-play on that one, so the fight I think was a bit split up there.
Well, I think if we, like I was trying to say, I think if we default back to, if COA defaults back to their insurance policy in the Jinx, maybe they still have a chance, but she really has to hit her item breakpoints. She already has the IE and the Runans, but
she's keeping competitive in terms of items. It's just you do need that competitive edge. You can't be equal. You have to be ahead if you want this Jinx to pop off.
Yeah, she really has to just put her team on her back.
Right now, Goldie has climbed to about 9k. Top lane, here comes the nearly getting the spear connecting, means this is a very dead Darius. 5-1 and 0 rather. Or 1-5 and 0 rather.
Yeah, 1-5 and 0. I don't. What is he? Wait, what? No, I think he has to build, more tanky. Just go straight tank if you're this Darius.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to be competitive. If you go tanky, maybe you can peel for your team a little bit, but at this point, I hate saving.
Oh well, this is a few bad moment if you are the Darius getting camped out. They are juggling the aggro around the plant, which is a pretty good understanding of how to play this Baron out. But here comes the Jarvan on the side with the flank. Landing the charm though might just be enough CC to finish off the Jarvan. See you later, buddy. They get the confirmation kill onto the jungle, and this should be a free Baron, whether they like it or not. The tidal wave coming in just to send them up in the air for a little bit. The heal is going to keep the Tristana alive, and the Primal Surge as well. That's a 3-star nearly for you, ladies and gentlemen, and right now the Baron in the hands of WAF.
Not sure what the Jarvan was trying to do. I'm just gonna walk into the enemy jungle behind all of you.
With no vision at all, right?
With no vision. I'm not even gonna check if you have any wards there. Nah, man. I'm just gonna do it.
Full solo queue moment. Is this the tilt? But I don't know. It looks a bit tilty.
I'm tilted.
0-3 and 0, 108 CS. Almost flamed Horizon by his opponent. This nearly, like I said, 3-star nearly. Getting all the items that she requires.
Yep, pretty good. I think she's hit most of her skill shots.
Right.
Some off the back of the Ahri, but still pretty good. I think her skill shots ratio.
But that's always been the thing about Nidalee, right? You can miss 9 spears. The 10th one that connects is gonna chunk out the opponent and give you such a huge advantage when you are a hit. When you are a hit, as long as you land that 1 spear, they're just like, well, I have to recall now. I can't stay around.
Yeah, but still, I think very sure you can hit the crucial 10th spear, but I think I'd prefer if you hit the first 2.
Oh man, asking for too much, man. You.
Hey, I think literally you want to hit the skill shots. I think that's not.
Okay,
not
fair
hard,
enough. Oh, skill shot not landing there. Caster skills coming in.
Happy hands.
Happy hands. WAF sitting in the mid lane, looking for the engage. They find the charm onto the Jinx though, and the insurance policy has been cashed out right now. Entering into the fight once more. Jarvan going in. Not really finding anything though, as they find a double kill onto the Ahri, who will just chunk out everyone on the opponent's side. COA now looking like they're in dire straits as the inhibitor in the mid lane is gonna fall. WAF looking to close this first game of the FSL out very quickly as the charm lands once more. I think if you are playing against WAF, you just ban the Ahri out right now, ladies and gentlemen. You know that what they're capable of on this mid laner, and you have to be very careful of it. As WAF looks to close out game 1.
Yep, definitely. 1-17. I think COA here really just got severely outclassed. They made some questionable plays, but I think WAF capitalized on those plays exceptionally well.
Yeah, every time that the charm was required, the skill shot was required, they committed and they landed it, and that converted into objectives time and time again. Yep. You could see in the mid lane, Orianna, despite thinking it was an even matchup, could not step up past the river because Ahri was consistently wave clearing and consistently fishing for charms.
Yeah, I think there's no better time to highlight that than in the last fight. WAF, they charm the Jinx, and suddenly everyone just like that, they're on her.
Yeah.
Start the fight, win the fight, win the game.
And we're talking about insurance policies, the Jinx as the late game carrier. That cannot happen. You need to position behind. You cannot get caught out by charms. You cannot get caught out by spears or like stray stranglethorns, stray grasping roots that are trying to hit you. In that instance, they didn't play so well, and unfortunate COA will drop the first game, and they will go into the lower bracket, I believe.
Yep. Honestly, I think it's just a sort of, questionable decision on top of questionable decisions. But
Right.
yeah,
I
severely
think
outclassed.
our next game is going to be a continuation of this. So
Oh.
the winner of that match WAF will proceed into the next round, which is I believe they will be playing against a team called Drama Queens. I don't know how much of that is important for them to succeed on the Rift, but for now we will be going for a short break. When we come back, it's going to be WAF, the victors of Game 1, going up against Drama Queens. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.